We've shown QMR reports based on dimensions like site, work center, and item. These dimensions come directly from the activity log table of Visiprise Manufacturing, as input by operators on the shop floor. However, businesses typically organize their activities into hierarchical groupings that are not defined in VM, but can be derived from this VM data. For example, complex assemblies can often be described as an item or group of items which are in turn assembled from other items, so forth downward through a bill of materials structure. Other examples of reportable hierarchies might be employees making up work groups which make up factories, or items grouped together into product lines, etc. QMR allows you to build your own reporting structures based on VM data elements like item, and gives you both instant one-click reports and ad hoc reporting capability for the new custom reporting structures. The aerospace industry typically deals in general production efforts for programs. So as an example, let's go into QMR and set up a new reporting hierarchy for major programs. This will be a three-level hierarchy, the highest level being the program, the next level the major assemblies which go into the program's end item, and the third level the sub-assemblies which make up the major assemblies. We'll name the new reporting hierarchy Programs. We'll make it a standard hierarchy available to all QMR users. We'll choose which report metrics and which ad hoc metrics we want to see for it. Finally, we'll tell QMR which VM fields it will use to describe the data that goes into the nodes of the hierarchy. In this case, our programs, major assemblies, and sub-assemblies will be defined by their item numbers and the sites where they're built. Now when we select the drop-down, we see QMR has automatically generated an option to populate our new reporting hierarchy data. This allows us to put in the filters according to the VM dimensions selected in the previous screen, site and item. Our first input will place items starting with 714, built at the Arizona site, into our new structure under program F19, Major Assembly Fuselage and Subassembly Fuselage Chassis. We can define other items for this node as well. For example, items beginning with 715 also belong to the fuselage chassis. We can build out other nodes. For example, items belonging to 718 will place in the subassembly fuselage electronics. Skipping ahead, we can see 14 rows we've set up for our program hierarchy, which now consists of 2 programs. We'll note here that QMR allows its tables to be exported to and imported from Excel spreadsheets, which is how QMR hierarchy data is typically set up in most real production environments. Going back to the main screen, we see QMR has now instantly, with no other setup, provided both standard report menus for our new program hierarchy here and ad hoc screens on the right. It has also added drop-down menus. Remember, we defined these standard reports below in previous chapters. These reports are simply one-click methods for re-executing ad hoc reports we created. Our new report menus, on the other hand, are a series of QMR reports automatically created based on the hierarchy nodes and upon which metrics you selected. In this case, first pass yield, effective yield, work in process, and completed item DPU. These allow us to quickly see and report upon the data across the hierarchy nodes. For example, here we select the F19 program as a whole, which allows us to easily see the overall performance of F19. We can also see the performance across its major assemblies, or we can tab to one of the major assemblies where we see the sub-assembly performance. Again, no other setup was required for this structure other than what we've demonstrated in the last couple of minutes. All of these one-click reports have been automatically generated by QMR. The ad hoc report screen for our new structure has brought in addition to the native VM dimensions, the 3 hierarchy nodes of program, major assembly, and subassembly, as additional filtering and grouping elements. So, for example, I can now execute a report comparing DPU between my programs for the last 8 months. All of these new automatically generated reports have, just as in previous chapters, full drill-through capability and defect Pareto pop-ups. In real-world examples with our aerospace customers, program definitions like this one have been brought up in about a half hour. There are other cube generation tools, of course. Remember, however, that these are just tools, not fully realized solutions like QMR. As such, they are starting points from which it's typically a multi-month and very expensive effort to achieve the kinds of end results we've demonstrated today in just a few minutes. Only QMR provides out-of-the-box, plug-and-play VM reporting like we've just seen. The uniqueness of our product is that it marries the speed and ease of use of a custom application with the flexibility of modern cube building technologies.